Welcome to the Quick 10 podcast, brought to you by Trac, focusing on all things FedCon and cyber defense from different perspectives and different personalities, all in 10-ish minutes. Here's your host, Derek White.
Welcome back to another episode of the Quick 10 podcast. I'm your host, Derek White from Beryllium and Trac. Today, I am joined live in person here with Michael Greenman from Deltek. Thanks for joining me. We are here live in person at a conference, CMMC Focus.
Yep.
It's nice to be able to sit down and talk face to face versus doing some of these podcasts virtually like we do. But we caught up a little bit before we did this. You have some exciting news from Deltek standpoint. We'll start with that.
Yeah. So in case you weren't aware, Deltek's been in the software business for government contractors for about 40 years. And most recently, our flagship ERP solution, CostPoint, our GCCM delivery, that stands for GovCon Cloud Moderate, achieved, or I shouldn't say achieved, that's not the right word, completed its FedRAMP Moderate Equivalency Assessment, so the legally approved line. And what that means is our contractors, defense contractors specifically, can now meet the requirements of both DFAR 7012 as well as the 32 CFR CMMC rule for level 2 and level 3 compliance as a cloud service provider.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I know Trac did as well.
We did, yeah. So there aren't a
rare company.
There aren't a ton that specifically have responded to the memo at the end of 2023.
Yep.
So yeah, that's good. And it's a lot of work and a lot of prep and a lot of maintenance and maintain. You're moving forward. So that's awesome. Congratulations. It is nice to be at a conference like this and start to hear some of these milestones being achieved by companies, but this is definitely one that is separates you from the pack. So
it's a unique one, and it's good to know that in present company, you know what that means, the significance of it, and certainly for your customers as well.
Well, this is going to segue into what I kind of asked you before we talked here is, let's talk about cloud service providers and the considerations there. So you got, again, understanding it from Deltek side, we do the same thing. Some of the considerations you like to highlight, maybe some red flags. Where do you see that?
Yeah, and so the whole industry runs into this a lot, as you know. There are a lot of companies, MSPs, MSSPs, CSPs that overstay, blur the lines. But what is clear is, as you know as well, customers, contractors, they need to see the receipts. And though there's a bit of a complicated nuance to it, you got to be both on the FedRAMP marketplace as well as have this equivalency thing, which is really just a set of documents that have to be requested. So, our line now is kind of show me the receipts, right? Yeah. Show me the proof. And it's a lot that somebody would have to look at, certainly not digestible by most humans. So red flag number one, if your CSP, MSSP, MSP, all the SPs, if they don't have proof to show you in the form of a CRM, customer responsibility matrix, shared responsibility matrix, more acronyms, then they might have something to hide. So definitely there is proof and that proof can be shown. So that's definitely a big one. And then the other one is if they don't understand the nuances of this type of thing, assessments are happening for CMMC Level 2.
That's right.
DFAR 7012 has been law of the land for defense contractors for almost a decade. So push is coming to shove. And I think contractors, or I should say ESPs, MSPs, CSPs, the ones that are putting in the work and the investment are going to rise to the top and be able to successfully navigate their customers through this.
Well said. And, one of the other things too, specific to CSPs and FedRAMP moderate equivalency is the body of evidence. So it says it, it's follow the rules, and it's in there. Don't send your body of evidence to everybody under the sun. Don't send your SSP to people. It shows like people are required to see it from the C3PO spot. FedRAMP's different than CMMC Level 2, all that. So make sure that when you're talking to cloud service providers, or if they're using cloud services to support you, that those cloud services also are FedRAMP moderate or equivalent, not just part of a CRM. Because that's another thing that's being missed right now a little bit is I have an MSP, but the MSP is using cloud services to support. So make sure that you understand that.
And you need kind of an engineer to navigate you through all this nuance, which is what this conference is all about.
Yes, true.
And true. Difficult for an average everyday human, even, somebody who is immersed in this to follow all of it. So it's difficult. But things to look for, I'm sure, as you're well aware. Deltek, we have a trust center. We put all of our security documents out there so that our customers can request them. So we have that chain of custody. We know who requested these. We know who has it. And then also our body of evidence is going to be available for request on our trust center. And that is something we're seeing a lot more demand for. So along with that, that is, again, something the industry is just going to have to evolve into, of, again, expecting and demanding this level of proof, whether it's the shared responsibility, customer responsibility matrix, and this body of evidence, certainly from cloud service providers.
Yes. And that is, that's, thank you for highlighting that, because that's kind of where I was going, is that just because it says must have C3PAOs have to follow strict guidelines on what they're accessing, what they're asking for, what they're seeing. Body of evidence is a different ball of wax. But because somebody is a consultant or whatever, does not mean they just get to see everything under the hood, and that's okay. That's kind of what they're trying to get. You can feel it. It's coming across government, like speed, make things swift, all these other things. Isn't just to make it easier. It's just to make it more efficient.
And dumping that 1,000 pages of documents on somebody is too much. So one of the things that we did, our GRC unit was really smart about this. We had our third-party FedRAMP assessor, we use Showman Compliance, write us a letter. So we have a nice letter that's available, and that can be like the first step. So as a best practice for those listening at home, if you go through this assessment, compliance, whether it's a cloud service provider or is it 3PAO, ask your assessor for a letter so that you're not dumping a body of evidence of thousands and thousands of pages, which, again, no average human can understand. And this letter kind of sums it up. So that's a good thing to have.
Well, so now you had mentioned you guys have a cool too. You have some trends, you have some statistics. Talk about that. I think that's not getting a lot of that at this, because you guys definitely put the effort into having information out there. That's huge.
Absolutely. We have a big customer base, not just in government contracting, but that is a big part of it. So every year, Deltek puts out what we call the Clarity Report for our 3 main industries that we support.
Clarity Report.
Yep. And you can find that on deltek.com. And in that report this year, we've done the GovCon Clarity Report for 16 years in a row now. Just this most recent year, in the most recent report, we started asking more detailed questions about CMMC. We've been tracking it for a couple of years, but just with our IT respondents. But this year we expanded it to the whole, respondent base, which is roughly about 900 government contractors, and got some amazing insights. One of the big ones was of that cohort, of that group of government contractors, 70% are planning to have a CMMC assessment in 2025, which was amazing. It was one of the most shocking trends that came out of that. It's like, okay, where is this coming from? It's the first time we asked the question. So it was one of the interesting findings. Another one of that same group, they said that which level are they planning to have assessment for? Not necessarily in 2025, but along the road. And roughly 77%, when you combine them together, are focused on level 2 and level 3. So not so much level 1 in this cohort, but definitely are seeing that they are planning for a third-party assessment. They are understanding that this is a priority. And also that they're planning for it, again, as the numbers will show. And the other interesting insights, and this is data that nobody I've seen has, regarding costs. Not so much what DoD says. DoD said in the 32 CFR rule that they anticipate that a third-party assessment, all things considered, is roughly $100,000 for a small business. They put that in the rule. So we asked our respondents, what costs have you incurred to prepare for CMMC? And there was a clear line between small businesses and enterprise businesses. Small businesses, the question was worded, how much have you spent so far, has spent around $50,000 to prepare. Enterprise, it just shoots up from $100K and more. So clear dividing. And this is the first time, again, that I've seen in the market that there's now cost data. Take that, add it with the DoD's estimate, you can start to get an idea of what it's going to cost.
Yeah, and that return is huge, because specifically on the innovation side, the small business side, we have a lot of clients, and others do here as well, that don't have the business yet, or they have a contract and they want more contracts. Being able to, and again, it's better now because there's confidence. There's FedRAMP monitor equivalency. There's things like QuickTrack, Deltek that can demonstrate that, prove that to you, helps make decisions, because it's easy to get lost in the weeds. Almost the abyss at this point. If you go online, could be, be a little careful. Would you say maybe the stats didn't show, those are amazing stats, but let's say out of that 70% that are saying plan to be certified? Now, let's just say it's level 2.
Plan to seek an assessment.
Yes, seek an assessment. Yeah, sorry, yes. Do you know, or do you feel that out of that 70%, how many do actually understand level 1, level 2 self, level 2 third party, C3PO versus level 3, and like what's actually going to be required and when? You feel like that was a high kind of confidence, or all of the above?
Like I said, we've been asking the question for a couple of years, but specifically to IT folks. And those numbers do align with what we had seen trend-wise with just the IT folks. So I think that there is a good understanding. I don't know how great the understanding is of what the differences are between the different levels. But next year, we plan to expand on this a little bit more to get their insights. And just to give you confidence of what this group actually is and how they kind of approach these things. Another significant finding in that particular report, it's like 90-page light read, is that really it's AI, right? Artificial intelligence is the other major. Cybersecurity has always been a top of mind issue, but AI has really kind of gone to the top really quick. And it's both kind of the source of pain and the remedy. Because, by far, they're like, what's the top concern? Artificial intelligence. What are you doing to address your top concern? Artificial intelligence. That was an interesting finding.
Perfect.
So this is a very, very savvy crowd that we get into. So I've got confidence that these numbers are maybe not 100%,
Yeah, but it's
pretty close.
Litmus test. I mean, that's big. And I asked that because education is still a huge piece. In people are coming to us either from somebody who knows us or out of the wild, out of the abyss. There is a lot of noise, and that noise does tend to get in the way of people almost jumping ahead of, I'm going to schedule the C3PO so I can get on the books. And then someone told me it will only take me so much time, so much cost. And then they get to that prep assessment. And, now they're talking to us because something didn't go well. So that'll even itself out. So I am very interested to hear how those trends and those statistics change, specifically with Rev 5. The other things, these things are going to continue to evolve. And it is hard to digest all that. Like I said, if you're targeting IT people versus, say, end users or business owners that are
CFOs,
people,
folks that aren't necessarily traditional IT skills, they get it.
The return on
they get the risk, right? And that is another thing that I personally talk about with our customers is like, we have another product called GovCon, which allows our customers and business development folks to look at trends in government contracting and see which ones would be a good fit. But you can get an idea of your risk based on which contracts do I have, right? Or which ones am I competing for? All right, that's your market potential. What is the risk worth to you to not have this, right? Especially defense contracts. And what we're seeing more and more for the folks that get it, that, do our customer success stories and whatnot, they say, it's not so much that I think I need it right now, I'm going to have an assessment right now. It's that I want to get ahead of my competitors. So this is a differentiator to get with the right CSPs, get with the right MSPs, get with the right platform and build out this culture of security. And the ones that get ahead of that, I think, are going to be the most advantageous or the most desirable subcontractors or contractors when push comes to shove as this market evens out.
Well said. I know these go quick, kind of on purpose. So
10-ish.
10-ish. This one definitely a little over 10-ish, I'm guessing. And I like to guess how long these take each time. So great information. Thank you for stepping aside because this is a zoo. It is busy here.
Thanks for inviting me.
Great stuff. We'll do it again for sure. And every guest we have on, I do look forward to 6 months, 12 months from now, how things are different and revisit some of these same questions. So really looking forward to that. Thanks for having on. Thanks for being on.
Thanks so much, Derek.
For those that are first-time listeners, watchers, go to the website, quicktrack.com. We have a podcast page there. If you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, make sure to subscribe. See conversations with people like Michael from Deltek. And I don't know, we're probably middle of season 2, ending up season 2. So we've been doing these now for almost 2 years.
Congratulations.
It's been fun. And these are the best ones to be able to sit here and do it in person. So thank you for the time. And we'll catch everybody next time.
Thank you for listening to this episode, and make sure to subscribe to the Quick 10 podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and check us out on YouTube as well. For more information about QuickTrac, visit our website at www.quicktrac.com. That's CUICKTRAC.com.